We bring in Christian Brown. He's president of SNC-Lavalin's global oil and gas sector. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Good afternoon.
First of all, what do you expect OPEC to do? I mean, are they going to hold line on production? They've got prices about where they want them. Maybe they could go even a little higher here, but is it time to increase production to make up for the loss they're going to see in Iran and Venezuela?
I think not. I think it will be sort of neutral coming out of the meeting next week. It will be a wait and see, and they'll hold the cuts through 2018, I believe.
Now, offshore, everybody's making much of the shale boom that we're seeing in the United States, but you still are here to pound the table for offshore oil production. Why?
Well, I believe it's both. I mean, there is no doubt in the near term, U.S. shale will make up most of the supply coming out of the U.S. into the global markets. But the next 3 years, that production needs to double to stay in line with overall global demand. And I don't believe the market here in the U.S. can hold with that. And I think that then drives to opportunity for offshore, where the last 3 or 4 years you've seen incredible amounts of capital removed from the sector. We're at sector cyclical low. We've now got the cost base associated with offshore developments at a point that the break-evens are now below prior and potential future oil prices. So I think the offshore sector will bounce back to make up the shortfall that I believe will be left by the growth and the amount that won't be made up by U.S. shale.
What do we need to see in terms of oil prices, Christian, in order to keep companies willing to spend on projects?
That's an interesting question. You know, I think many of my customers will talk about $50 oil break even for offshore and less for general conventional. But I think a happy medium of 75 to 80 where we are today actually gives a lot of confidence, and we'll start to see more investment across all of the hydrocarbon elements of our industry.
Is there a hesitation? Maybe, I mean, clearly you have a president in the White House now who is in favor of offshore production where you didn't have it with previous presidents. If he leaves office in 2020 or 2021 and somebody else comes in, I mean, you think companies might hesitate to make long-term investments in an area that could be taken away again?
I don't think so. And part of the reason for that being, if you look at the current offshore capacity, so that is assets that are on stream producing or about to come in on stream, even to remain flat, we will need an incremental amount of investment offshore. The pessimists say that we could lose 5 to 6 million barrels offshore if we don't invest in the coming years. So I think irrespective of what happens in the White House, we will see investment go into the offshore market as over the next 3 to 5 years, purely to maintain production levels where they are. I
was just going to ask about your customers. So you have, it looks like Exxon, Shell, BP, and the level of spending, the sort of appetite for spending that they're seeing right now as a result of political, economic, and pricing environment.
Well, I mean, surely the three majors you just mentioned are part of our client base, but we've also got a significant amount of our client base of national oil companies. And I think the mood really is we've had 4 years of restricted investment in the industry. There's about $1 trillion of capital that has not been deployed, and there is a concern that oil prices will increase, there will be shortfalls in supply, and it's pushing our customers to consider now investment decisions. So the activity levels we see within our business, looking at study work, looking at potential investments, has increased exponentially over the last 12 months.
Christian Brown from SNC-Lavalin, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.